trying to sleep. I'm somewhere making my midnight creep. Every morning when the rooster crows, he's telling me, man, it's time to go. I am the back door man. I am the back door man. Well, the men don't know, but the women all understand. They took me to the doctor's shot full of holes. The nurse, she cried, save his soul. The cop's wife said, don't take him down. I'd rather be under 6 feet of the ground. I am the back door man. I am the back door man. Well, the men don't know, but the women all understand. I was accused of murder on the first degree. The judge's wife cried, let that man go free. My lawyer's wife said, get my boyfriend off, and so we dropped my case and gave my job. I am the back door man. I am the back door man.
What's up, y'all? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good evening. Welcome. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're tuned in to the one and only Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Asheville's longest running and best open mic, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Thanks to your support and thanks to our sponsor tonight, Sovereign Kava, the Kava bar here in Asheville. Big shout out to them. You can stop by. They got Kava to go here in Asheville. Check it out. Many thanks. We appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares, everyone. We got Joe Shelton as our feature poet tonight. That's who you're hearing right now. And we're going to hear more from him in just a little bit. I'm going to warm things up with a few poems for you. So keep it locked here to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. We really appreciate it. Cheers, everyone. Thank you. All right. We'll start off with some originals tonight. This one is called Dream Runoff. They seep out of the hairy ears of old men and down their pillowcases, gaining random people and childhoods along the way. Hard bop envelops a hall filled with dancers and ribbons of information, while silhouetted goddesses drink from deaf goblets and speak alien tones. The stately palace by the sea is surrounded by laughing cliffs. Trees with green feathers and iridescent crows have been growing out of the stone. Dreams ooze to the sighing sea. Ancient dreams wash up in the tide. Cool. Everything good? Good. All right. Well, good then. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited y'all could join us tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, my name's Caleb Beissert. This is Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Joe Shelton's our featured poet tonight, and we got a bunch of other performers on the list. We also have some space open on the list tonight. If anyone else wants to join in and perform, we'll post that StreamYard link. Just follow that link, enter your name, and click enter the broadcast studio, and we'll get you on as soon as there's a space available. But either way, appreciate you tuning in. Yes, indeed, everyone. Okay. All right. I got a few more poems then. This is Cats in Lorca's Garden. And this was written at Huerta de San Vicente in Granada, 2013. Grand sweep of park, apartments rise, surround pomegranate trees, beer cans, benches, flies, and cats sleeping in the bushes, empty waste bins, and ledges of a home where family never can return. A fountain with a small ordinance of swans, pear trees, weeping lilacs, stale roads also rise, their constant ocean wind. Ode to Cordoba. A woman watches from the bridge. Birds rise in waves from river at sunset. In river, dwellings no longer used by people belong to pigeons. Cries from a violin remember songs that echoed. In your grand mesquita, in your cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption, your alcazar standing fast, your ancient steps around little fountains, when there was peace. Thanks a lot, y'all. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. I just got a few more short ones for you, and then we'll get our featured poet on here. Awesome. Appreciate the comments, y'all. Keep them coming in. We really appreciate it. There's the StreamYard link for performers. If anyone else wants to join in and perform tonight, just feel free. Follow that link. We love our performers here, and we welcome all forms of artistic self-expression, not just poetry, here at the Poetry Open Mic. Anyway, cool. This next one's a brand new one I'm gonna air out tonight, and we'll see how it goes. This is called Advertencia. What killed Garcia Lorca is out there somewhere. Be careful when looking around. I knew not to get into it with the guy who said he should have left Spain, had it coming to him, though my eyes boil. Every time someone looks the other way, while the fascists kill him again. This is not the little corner you are looking for. If someone gives you false directions when you ask, come back a different night. Death enters and leaves the tavern. Enters and leaves. The ones who flee, the fascists, are not wrong, but neither are the ones who stand. The men who killed Garcia Lorca got away, left him in an unmarked grave. But more so, what killed Garcia Lorca is out there somewhere. And this is called Lethe. Something I forgot to do 15 years ago bothers me ever since. I may never know what it was, so I'll never get it done, except perhaps by accident. One day, many years from now, I might remember what I was supposed to do after it's far too late, and my life has gone on down the river. All right. Let's see. I got one more poem for y'all. Appreciate you being with us tonight. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone. And I'm so stoked to have Joe Shelton on tonight. So here's to Joe. Woo! That'll do it. All right. This one is called The Losing Streak. All right. Cool. This will be the last one. We'll get Joe on here. The Losing Streak. This is an old poem I found. Written for 11/11. The insects are blue, silent, only radio buzz, slightly broken. The town was a dark carnival, eerily tomorrow. Draft music echoing somewhere below, skipping along upbeat, a smelly funk groove, so funk it grows in your basement. The singer gliding graceful over the notes, it all sounded so beautiful. I was so glad to be alive in 2011. When the trumpet hit that note, and the drummers moved as one, and Max hit those Rhodes keys like kneading clay, and somewhere up in the balcony, a shout rang down from someone who'd achieved ecstasy flying about in the rafters. If you're not careful, you can lose your face up there. In the temple, everyone runs a hot race. Some will leave here when it's over, the winners crowned and hugged. The last old man turning off the lights to go home to his medicine that helps him die. All right, that's what I got. And next up, we got Joe Shelton. I'm so happy to have Joe tonight. Joe's one of my favorite performers at the open mic from all the years. It's always great having Joe in the house. And Joe's been doing the open mic, virtual open mic with us a little bit, though he hadn't been here in a while. He's a new job, but he's got the night off finally, so I'm so glad to have him here as the feature poet tonight. Joe is such a fabulous poet in his own right. I love hearing Joe's poetry and his poems. Particularly love his book of the working worker poems. Oh, thank you so much for the comments, by the way. We really appreciate that. Keep the comments rolling. And of course, if anyone has questions for our feature poet, leave those in the comments and we'll get to those. But let's get to our feature poet now. Without further ado here, we're gonna bring Joe on, and let me tell you, a little bit about Joe, for those of you that may not know him. Oh, cool, thank you, appreciate that, thanks. Cool, very good, all right. Joe Shelton holds a BA in English Literature from UNC Chapel Hill, shout out, and studied advertising copy at the Portfolio Center of Atlanta. Shout out also, I guess. He writes and performs poetry, songs, skits, and occasionally stand-up comedy. He appears regularly at Asheville's longest running open mic, Sovereign Kava of Asheville, and elsewhere. Joe was a long-time regular contributor to the satirical Asheville Disclaimer. I loved that publication, that bit in the Express, as well as Asheville Buzz Pit, the Simpleton Review, all of which are now defunct, though to no fault of his own. Prior to that, Joe was published in such non-literary bulwarks as ASHEViLLE Magazine, The Mountain Express, and the Black Mountain News, not to mention some long-forgotten minor poetry anthology that he forgot the name of. I love that one, too. And 10 or 12 years ago. Yes, different publications there. As I mentioned, his micro-published poetry chapbook, Songs of the Workplace, was a smashing success. It sold through all 15 copies, and we're still waiting on that second print run. So y'all look out for that. It sold 15 copies, perhaps owing to the fact that it had a picture of a naked lady on the cover. It did. But also some really good poems inside. Hey, look for Joe's musings, poetic and otherwise, on his Facebook page under Jose Del Tejaco, and on Twitter at Big Bad Box Book, all one word. And we'll have a link for that as well. But anyway, let's get this going here. We got Joe Shelton in the house, fired up, ready to go tonight. But y'all know the drill out there. You got to make a whole bunch of noise to get this going here. So wherever you're at, if you're at home, if you're in your car, if you're maybe in public somewhere, hopefully wearing a mask, or if you're standing outside the Kava bar right now, or one of my people working the Kava bar down there tuning in on the speakers down at the bar, wherever you are, jump up and down, spin around, shout, clap your hands together, stomp your feet, whistle, and make a whole bunch of noise for the incredible Joe Shelton. Y'all give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Joe!
That was quite a build-up.
Yeah. Well, quite a build-up for quite a performer. It's so good to have you here tonight, Joe. It's always good having you in the house here at the virtual Kava bar.
Hey,
anyway, you got some Kava? Hold on, I got a Kava. I'm going to cheers you.
Oh, let's do it.
Say hi to the people out there.
Oh, yes. I grabbed a cup of the MiC to make it official at the Kava bar. I asked earlier, and I was like, hey, do you think I could get a Wednesday off? They're like, a Wednesday? Of course you can get a Wednesday off. I was like, all right. So
nice.
So glad to finally make it.
Hey, here you are.
Gig, man.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you here, Joe. This is really fantastic. It's yes, it's just it makes it feel a little more like open mic with you here. And you got the Kava. I got some Kava too. This will be better.
Well, let's do it. Here we go.
All right, bula bula, mabus mabus, to Joe.
Okay, disgusting. Just had 3 in a row there. Never gets better.
Oh.
That's the face. That's the face.
That's the face.
What I love about like stuff where we have experts on the news or whatever, and they're at their place, is their weird objet d'art and shelves and stuff. The ones that are intimidating have like 1 million books. It's like, yeah, I read all those books.
Yeah.
And here's me, and I'm like, yeah, I read these books and I've seen these movies. I played with this ball.
Yeah. I like the ball and the jars.
Oh, yeah. Good time.
You know?
Here's a weird spoon I like. Just have things that make you happy around, I say.
Yeah. I mean, you know, not all books are great. Sometimes you get more out of a little spoon or something.
I'm contemplating a spoon. I don't think there's a poem in the spoon, but...
Well, you got to see if you can bend it with your mind.
Oh, boy. Good times.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed.
I'll try and keep an eye on my time. I like to do that. Don't like to run long.
Cool.
Like
no
some guys from Morocco.
We'll keep it rolling tonight. Don't worry about it. But I do want to take a second to plug your Twitter. Check out your Twitter and of course.
Oh, there I am.
Yes, and you're on Facebook too.
Yeah, the Twitter was originally designed to push a manuscript I'm looking for an agent for, but it's just turned into another time suck. Hooray.
Right. Well,
why not?
There you go. We all have our things, right?
I've done a whole nother unpublished manuscript since then.
Oh yeah. Well, that's right, and hopefully we'll see that before too long too. But anyway, other than working and not being able to do open mic and not being able to go much anywhere really, crap. What else have you been up to?
Oh boy, got to drop in on Mom. Shout out to Mom. It's been a fabulous Sunday night. Hang out.
Aww.
Hang out.
Shout out to Joe's mom.
Yay, Joe's mom. Mark. She's watching. Hi, Mom.
Yay, hi.
The good
I
time.
love it.
Just there's a lot of couch moping, but I think that's going around. It's going around.
Sure, but you are finding some time to write and sing a little bit and whatnot, and the new recordings
I was just gonna say one of my things tonight is one of my ones that I worked on at work, just kind of in my brain. That's a cool thing you can do if you have a job that's kind of low key. You can just let the old gears turn, let your process go. Take 2 weeks on something if you want to. There's no rush. But yeah, you mentioned the music stuff. Aaron Price is helping me put together an EP of my stuff, and also had that cover of the Backdoor Man, and that was a special version that I put together for the Grinch. We'll have to find out some way to make the Grinch stop into people's lives this year.
We can make that happen this year.
Yeah, we got to figure something out.
I think we can do that. Yeah.
Right on.
We got to do that.
The non-kid friendly Grinch will be coming to a love stream near you.
Very good. I love it. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm very excited for the EP coming out tonight. We're gonna play some more of that in between performers tonight as well. But you have some poems for us, I hear. And
usually it's a couple of poems, couple of songs, but hey, I got a little time tonight. It's gonna be handful of songs.
I love it. Yeah. Well, we got the next 20 minutes for you, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you so we can get to it. But everybody check out Joe on Twitter and Facebook, and keep up with him so you can find out when the EP is coming out and all that good stuff. And if you have any questions for our performer tonight, just leave those there in the comments. We already got a few comments coming in right now. I see. That's excellent. Thank you. Appreciate those, y'all. And yes.
Ooh, Joe, I see.
I love it. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's turn it over to Joe Shelton then here, but I want everyone to make some noise one more time. Give it up. It's Joe Shelton, y'all, on Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Make some noise. Make some noise. Make some noise.
Well, hot damn, this is swell. So I've got some poems. I had kind of my plague year poem, but I'm like, we got enough plague stuff. So we'll do handful of poems, handful of the old acapella numbers, and I hope you enjoy it. I know I will. So there. Fire to me. It was cold on the boat in the middle of the sea, so I set fire to me. Glad it caught your eye. Thanks for stopping by. All right. This is There's Graffiti in the Sewers of Sao Paulo. There's graffiti in the sewers of Sao Paulo. I've never seen it, and I won't. I caught a snippet of it fluttering around in my mind when it escaped from a mental dossier where I had gathered the scattered clippings of the artist and his art. In a memory I pinned down from a film, he was being received as family by a father, wife, and children who lived among the caverns along the rushing stream of wastewater. The artist and the father held each other for a long moment, and then the father wept as he spoke his gratitude, thankful that there was one man at least who hadn't flushed them away under the city and into the darkness of oblivion, like sewage itself. In another memory, the artist was ankle deep in the effluvia of the city as he directed a headlamp at a cement wall. He worked the magic of his spray paints with both hands in a ballet-like language of puppetry. His eyes were far away at the finish of the thing, just under a wrinkled brow and above a bandana he wore over his mouth and nose. There's graffiti in the sewers of Sao Paulo, all but unseen. It's not gang tags marking a territory like dog piss. It's not an involuntary tattoo applied by a vandal, receiving yet another bandage of paint rolled out by an angry shopkeeper as the stain bleeds through. It's not an anonymous secret handshake between hobos forever passing through. It's not boxcars delivering art to the resentful, involuntary audiences of indifferent rural and industrial worlds. It's not the slowly crumbling dilapidations of failed and forgotten businesses and institutions repurposed as canvases. It's not Keith Haring or Banksy or Basquiat bursting out of a cocoon of lawlessness from the extra wasted spaces. It's not the brave and dangerous political statement of a voice silenced by oppression. No. I almost admire thrill seekers who hang from ropes to burn on a bridge, and stopwatch crews who slip into subway tunnels between trains for a deserved adrenaline rush. They put art in front of the people where it belongs, but Sao Paulo's sewers are again as the darkened caves of Neander were when the shelter was the sewer. The cold stone walls were the canvas, and graffiti was journal, teacher, decoration, comfort, and then abandoned. There's graffiti in the sewers of Sao Paulo. I've never seen it, and I won't. But the idea of it and the existence of it are beautiful and sad and noble to me. Okay. Whoa, there goes that one. Irregulars. Among the damaged and discarded people, the scratch and dent bin of life, there is no king, nor treasure. But among us irregular and extra buttoned sweaters, there's the beauty of asymmetry and utility. There's sparkle. There's potential. There's redemption. Look again. Well, it's a little, all right, I got one that's a little bit kind of plaguey. Hey, a plague gets you thinking about life and death and everything, you know. Acorn. When I went in the earth, it was not goodbye. I swallowed an acorn before I died. When you stand in the spot where they buried me, you'll be in the shade of a great oak tree. It's ever so rude that my roots intrude into nearby pine boxes where my unmarked neighbors lay, leaving all our bones in disarray. Maybe hidden with us paupers, are royalty in our number. So reverently step, and lightly too, and don't disturb our jumbled slumber. Don't saw me down for a chest of drawers. I'd rather be a big dance floor where, years after my obit never made the news, soul men nightly shout out the blues, and socks hop around by a pile of shoes. Better still, just leave me be, and let my leaves fall off of me, every fall, until I do lie down noisily in a dew. Okay. Well, tell me that's all the poetry I wrote in time for? Nah. Let's pop one in off of the old Google Driver. I can't just leave it like that. I'm blowing through. I'm using too much time. So I'll have, and it looks like if you're in airplane mode, you don't get it. All right, there it is. And this is about my neighbor who, where I'm standing, lives maybe a lot or two over. And we grew up here, both of us, when we were kids. He's the descendant of slaves who inherited the property and the name. History is right here, right now. Vance's shark fin ear. After the surgery, the quack doctor fucked up Vance's ear so that it stuck out like the fin on a shark. The next morning, he climbed aboard big yellow bus number 82, trying to conceal himself by shuffling into the long line of his brothers and sisters, but to no avail. We eyed the novelty of him fearfully, like you might do to a newly minted circus freak. His tear-filled eyes darted about the bus as if to challenge any of the kids he'd been bullying for so long to say something. He nervously, repeatedly stroked his ear like it was a kitten to comfort himself and to hide it, I guess. Outside the situation, having to describe it to you, you might think, hey, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Tough shit for him. But I felt his pain acutely. He called his parents from school at third period after Mrs. Reeves' purported mathematics lesson and begged them to take him back to the doctor and make it look right. They did. Okay. All right. We'll do a couple of songs here. An oldie but a goodie. Oh, I got to turn off my background music here. I said pew. There it goes. All right. Okay. It's Thursday night and I just got paid. Gonna take out my wallet and go get laid. Get a rubber at the corner drugstore. Right out to exit 64. All the fellas say to me, man, it's gonna hurt when you go to pee. Truck stop, chicks say, get on the back of my motorbike. Truck stop, chicks say, do the dirty things I like. It double booked at the Monty V. Days and don't like the looks of me. Got us some room at the Thunderbird. The doorknob said, do not disturb. Our conversation's mercantile. She's flexible and versatile. Truck stop, Trixie. Get on the back of my motorbike. Truck stop, Trixie. Do the dirty things I like. We're done now, I got no complaint. Is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Did what I did and I paid what I owed. She's out the door and down the road. I feel like a loser, feel like a clown. I'll see her again and it brings me down. Truck stop, Trixie. She only briefly kills the pain. Truck stop, Trixie. The definition of insane. Truck stop, Trixie. Get on the back of my motorbike. Truck stop, Trixie. Do the dirty things. Oh yeah, I'm doing it about half the time I I had. Maybe you get some more stuff. I'll put some more stuff at the end, for goodness sakes. A little tale. I don't like the story of the song or what the song means, blah, 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 but I'll break my own rule. Rules are made to be broken. So at my new job where I make medical grade refrigerators that they keep COVID vaccines in, you're welcome. The main door of all the doors that we make is the 600 large, and it goes to a certain unit that's the 600 THX, a large refrigerator. So I just had the 600 large, 600, we need a 600 large, 600 large, and I worked it into a song. I worked it over and over and over, and it was a lot of different things, and then I kind of settled into one thing I want it to be. And here it is, world debut tonight. Hope you like it. I got a buddy likes to roll them bones so much. He likes to try his luck so much, I call him Gambling Jones. Throws around his cash in every gamble in town. Sometimes he's up, but most times down. Gambling Jones, Gambling Jones. He likes to throw his money so much, I call him Gambling Jones. At the blackjack table, take two. At the blackjack table, it's a bit of a wash. Oh gosh, he's knocking back the booze until he's starting to slosh. To count to 21, he doesn't stand a chance. He'd have to take his shoes and socks off and drop his pants. Gambling Jones has got a Gambling Jones. He ought to go ahead and change his legal name to Gambling Jones. Well, I got a call from Jones one night. Tied one on, tied it good and tight. And in a slurred soliloquy he made, told me about the wager he laid. 600 large on the Kansas City Chiefs. Ain't got an inside line, just internal beliefs. They're gonna win this game. They're gonna cover the spread. They're gonna make my dough rise up into every tasty kind of bread. I didn't need a crystal ball to see anymore, no more. For on the many times I'd seen his movie before, yet in a flurry of futility I tried to save an addict from the demon inside. I said, Jonesy boy, I know you're quite the high roller, but you make this bet, man, they'll be taking candy from my baby in a stroller. For that matter, man, you come home wearing a barrel with nothing but holes, what once were pockets and your apparel. He said, Joe, my friend, you know you're not my lovely mama. I'm well aware that there's a danger for some drama. So pardon me if I like to play the action. It's worth the risk if there's a chance of satisfaction. Since I busted on his bed, he's been a kind of a grouch. Youch! He got evicted from his place and now sleeps on my couch. Takes a quarter to a scratch off and lets out a sigh. And he talks about the wager with a gleam in his eye. 600 odds on the Kansas City Chiefs. Ain't got an inside line, just internal beliefs. They're gonna win this game. They're gonna cover the spread. They're gonna make my dough rise up into every tasty kind of bread. 600 large, 600 large. Yeah. All right. Anyway, you start with a fridge and you go where you go. Whoops. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Okay. Huh. Wow. Yeah, oh, I got all kinds of time. We'll have to come up with some other stuff. This is the one I was going to finish on, but guess what? There's going to be more. Tom Sheev says it's worth the risk if there's a chance of satisfaction. Well, careful, Gambling Jones. Funny. Well, gee, maybe I better put my extra stuff in the middle and still finish on the one that's cool. I don't know. I won't belabor you. I will do one more song on the in-between. And let's see. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. So, all right, I'm running slow, so I'll tell you a quick story about the song. Real gal named Cindy. We're pals at work. We'd hang out and drink sometimes. I'd overnight at her place, but it wasn't like that. So here's Staying Over at Cindy's. Staying over at Cindy's in trailer park tonight. Knock out a six-pack, watch the tube, hit the couch, and turn out the light. My hanky won't get panky, but I don't mind making do. We'll never run out of things to talk about, and neither one of us feels too screwed. She said, please spare me your rod or staff. Dick jokes from the Bible kind of make us laugh. She's her own woman. I lay no claim. What she wants from me and what she gets are one and the same. I'm staying over at Cindy's in the trailer park tonight. Knock out a six-pack, watch the tube, hit the couch, and turn out the light. Her eyes are sparkling diamonds, her smile a string of pearls. Got joie de vivre, but not je ne sais quoi. She's not the girl. The kid next door is a mullet head jerk. His little prison yard skunk eye needs a lot of work. His Baptist mother handed me a tract. It read, you're living in sin, you're going to hell. And that's a fact. I'm staying over at Cindy's in the trailer park tonight. Knock out a six-pack, watch the tube, hit the couch, and turn out the light. Our co-workers are talking because the lives are awfully dull. Gossipy goof-offs flapping their lips, everyone with an empty skull. She throws in laundry, I take out the trash. Mr. Prison Yard Skunk, I tries to sell me grass. Her sorry slumlord wants to up the rent. I said, and just a guess, stop being a pest. And off we went. I had a great night at Cindy's, and nobody got misled. Fresh brewed coffee, eggs, and toast, and a goody powder for my head. The guys at work have noticed I'm still in yesterday's shirt. If they only knew what we weren't up to, their feelings might get hurt. We're not entangled or tied in knots. It's no great struggle not to get the hots. It's not concerning to be carefree. We don't pretend about how we feel. Wasn't meant to be. I like staying over at Cindy's in the trailer park some nights. Knock out a six-pack, watch the tube, hit the couch, and turn out the lights. Knock out a six-pack, watch the tube, hit the couch, and turn out the lights. Knock out a six-pack, watch the tube, hit the couch, and turn out the lights. Good night. Okay. Yeah, I'll just zip out one more for you. We won't belabor it, and we'll get out right in time. Anyway, doesn't always have to be about getting laid. There's some pretty great stuff happening out there between human beings. Enjoy what you are, where you are, when you are. All right. A Poet's Life. I finish with this. A poet's life is hard. He seldom gets it right. He contemplates his paradoxes all throughout the night. The sparkles of the indigo he hasn't captured yet. He's trying to catch the starlight with a butterfly net. A poet's life is hard. He hears don't quit your day job. It's pretty good advice. The street poets are shivering. Their hands are cold as ice. Come on. What happened? Where am I? But poets' heads are crowded with every awful noise that desperately need purging, and speaking through his voice, a poet's life is hard. Whoa, why can't he spend some famous days writhing painfully like Coleridge in a lotus-induced haze, or in Persia where it's roomy, they strum proto-guitars, sipping tea that's laced with opium from Zarfs and samovars. His bachelor's of English is useless every day. Dost thou desire fries, he says, to go with your entree? He's threadbare like a radio that's long on highway miles, afraid that his black turtleneck is never quite in style. A poet's life is hard. In a bureau like at Emily's, his stuff might be discovered by a crowd of literati who embrace him like a lover. It's rocky, still there's primrose on his self-deluded path. He's all washed up like Shelley, maybe he'll take the gas like Plath. And when he's gone, his poetry will likely go away. Even things that bear repeating so often seem cliche. You'd never choose the poet's life, for you'd be bruised and scarred. But if you've got the calling, well, that's what's in the cards. A poet's life is hard. Oh, thank you one and all for tuning in. Thank you, Caleb Beissert. Thank you, Sovereign Kava. Cheers to you with Muck, wherever you may be. That was just a good time. All right. Facebook user felt that was hilarious.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. Joe, thank you. That was brilliant, man.
My darn pleasure.
You had us all cracking up here. Thank you, Joe.
What? I've got gravitas. Step off, man. I'm a serious artist over here. All right. I'm a silly person. We gotta play the hand you dealt.
We love you, Joe.
Love you too, guys.
Absolutely. Yes. Cheers. Cheers.
Again.
Yeah.
Getting loopy over here.
I know, right? I chugged that first one way too fast, but
ouchie.
Anyway, of course, shout out to the Kava bar, Sovereign Kava, and you can pick up your double shot there if you're performing tonight. If you want to perform tonight, there's still spaces, so check it out. But anyway, Joe, thank you so much for being here. Lots of comments here for Joe. I don't think we had any questions per se, just a lot of love and a lot of comments. I'll say I loved the poetry. You definitely seem like a poet who writes from experience. And so how would you say your I know like your previous jobs, and I guess your current job too, informed at least one of those pieces.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that like I mean, you've written a book about it. How does that play in? Is that sort of like an alchemy or like a cathartic exercise?
I tell you
take
what,
that and turn it into poems?
Honestly, a lot of that stuff just kind of tracks in, and sooner or later it builds up a critical mass and it comes out. I think you bought one of the fabulous sell-through 15 copies of Songs of the Workplace, and a lot of that stuff's pretty sour, kind of downer stuff. I mean, in this world, you got to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. But
yeah,
I tell you, I didn't do a great job of filling up my days when I didn't have work. So I'm glad to be back in the groove. I got one quick funny story about how does work inform me. I'd had a really productive summer of poetry writing early on when I was working at a major retailer. And I looked over one day, I was working in hardware, and I was in the paint chip section. And, they have all these weirdo names for the paint, Southern Radish, or whatever. It's somebody's job to sit around and think those up, and I have a poem about that. But I was looking at those things, and all of a sudden I saw it was like the thing from The Usual Suspects, where the guy sees the bulletin board and the psychopath has just used mix and match phrases from the bulletin board to make up a story. And I have used so many of those words and phrases. And at that time, it really horrified me and made me feel grotesque and awful. It's like I've been infected by this workplace. But years later, it's just like, hey, look, this is like a junkyard sculpture. Here's an axle and there's a thing. And it's like, hey, I've turned it into a thing. And I just, so, you never know how it's going to inform you. I got a song about how lousy the free coffee is at work, but hey, if you don't have free coffee at work, it's swell. Somebody says as a kid, it was my dream to be a person who named the paint colors. I don't know. After about number 150, you might be.
And things we aspire to initially, right?
Cool.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you so much, Joe. That was a fabulous performance. It's so good to have you back here tonight. I know at least one person said they've really missed this. So
hell yeah.
Thank you for coming back and joining us tonight.
In the words of General MacArthur, I shall return.
Well, please do. And hopefully maybe the Grinch will as well.
Oh, yeah.
But in the meantime, everybody check out Joe on Twitter and Facebook. And Joe, man, keep hanging in there. Keep being you. Keep making the awesome poetry and music. And we look forward to that EP coming out soon.
Rock and roll.
Awesome. Rock and roll. Everybody out there, make some noise one more time for the one and only Jose Del Tejaco, Joe Shelton. Give it up. All right. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Excellent. Cool. Well, you're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. We really appreciate you being with us tonight. Keep it locked here. We got a bunch of performers coming at you. Big shout out again to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. We got Joe's music going on. This is from his EP here. But anyway,
on the grand scale of things etude, with my rude interpretation in seeking a knuckle rap ovation. Swoop down like the killer with a sweeping chromatic thriller. A great ball of fiery slap to the head to arouse my desire for your disappointed dread. Till I'm breathless in a staccato hail of gendarme bullets. Mull it over, will you? Take your lipstick off with your thumb and feel it.
Anyway. That's Joe for you. We got Kevin Evans up next. I think we got a few more comments here for Joe. I just want to make sure we get to those.
But a conflicted inferno for a Saturday night. Feverish.
Oh, we did have one question for our poet. The fuck is Kava?
Well,
come down to the Sovereign Kava Bar in Asheville and find out. They'll even give you a free one. So, check it out. It is, let's see, yes, Kava. Kava is an intoxicating beverage from the South Pacific Islands, from the root of the Piper methysticum plant, literally translating as intoxicating pepper. It's been drunk by the natives of the South Pacific Islands, the indigenous peoples there, for thousands of years, and it's just starting to catch on now in the U.S. It gives you a nice, relaxing buzz, and it numbs your mouth, and it works better the more you drink it, so... Come down to the bar and try it. If you're performing tonight, you got a free double shot waiting for you down there. Just tell them you performed on the open mic, and we'll check your name off the list. But anyway, keep it locked here to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. My name's Caleb Beissert. It is always a pleasure to be your host here each and every Wednesday night, 8:30 to midnight here, Eastern Time. Broadcasting all over the world now on Facebook and YouTube on the Sovereign Kava channel. Check it out. We really appreciate the likes, comments, and shares. Keep those comments coming, y'all. It's nice to know you're out there. It's good to interact, and we're gonna keep this coming to you. But we encourage performers to sign up in the Poetry Open Mic AVL group on Facebook, and on the Kava Bar Instagram page, Sovereign Kava, as well. And we actually have some extra spaces left tonight, so after we go through the performers we've already signed up, if anyone else wants to join in, we'll keep posting that StreamYard link. Just follow that link. That's all you got to do, and just click enter the broadcast studio, enter your name, and we'll get you on here in the next available space. Anyway, we really appreciate everyone. Y'all rock. Anyway, let's see if we can get Kevin beamed in here. It's always good to have Kevin Evans in the house with us. So, wherever you are, whether you're at home in your car or somewhere in public wearing a mask or standing outside the Kava Bar right now still. Hey, what's up? Hey, yeah, I can see you. What are you doing out there? Anyway, big shout out to the crew down at Sovereign Kava. Hey, y'all jump up and down with me and make a whole bunch of noise for Kevin Evans here. Let's get Kevin Evans beamed in. Give it up, y'all. Give it up.
Hey, man.
Kevin! What's up?
What's up?
Chilling, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad.
Oh, good, man. Well, shit, man, it was great having Joe back in the house, and it's great having you back in the house as well. Another one of our long-time open mic rags.
Yeah, Joe's set like really had me rolling and had me going, but he says some really brilliant stuff too, and some really cool stuff.
Right.
So I like his variety there, from between the comedy, the poetry, the singing. It's really cool stuff.
I agree, man. I couldn't agree more. Fucking amazing. Joe kills me like all the time. I fucking love him.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, cheers to that. What you been up to, man?
The same old things, just trying to fight the good fight still. But I've just been working and stuff.
Yeah, working. That seems to be a theme here. I've been working too, down at the Kava Bar, working the to-go window there, all masked up in the bubble.
Nice.
doing what we can, man. We're all doing what we can these days, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, other than that, I'm just staying home and staying safe, man. You know, we're not through this thing yet, you know, and we're still doing open mic on the live stream here. So
Right.
obviously we're not there yet, but hopefully things will get better soon. But I can't tell you how good it is just to be able to get together with y'all every week and still keep this thing going that we've kind of had as like, you know, this part of our little literary community here in Asheville, you know, kind of like you've said before, like our church, you know, our open mics are places we can all congregate and do what fulfills us, and you know, for some of us what brings us closer to God, or that, you know, that deeper essence or whatever, you know. So
True.
It's good to have that medicine, that creative medicine going.
I agree.
But
I
anyway,
mean, even essential.
yeah, essential service, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, what have you been up to, man? You've been writing some new stuff for us. What you got tonight?
A little bit. There's some stuff I had to kind of work on even earlier tonight, but I had already started writing it like either yesterday or like earlier in November. So two new pieces, but other than that, like just some other old stuff, some scraps that some things I go back to sometimes.
I love that. You know, I love that. Very good. Cool. These notes. This is my notes here. I think it's some sort of list. Anyway,
Okay.
But
I can't read that at all.
Oh yeah. Probably not. Anyway, don't worry about it. It's good to see you, Kevin. I'm glad to hear
You
the poetry. I'm gonna turn it over to you, man.
For
But
sure.
you know, we had a comment for you. Just a couple people yelling your name.
Oh,
There.
cool.
You got
Back
some
at you.
fans.
And your name back to you, everybody.
Hell yeah. All right, everyone. Jump up and down and scream for Kevin Evans. Give it up.
All right. All right. Good evening. So I'm going to start with this poem called Early. I just like to open up with this poem sometimes. It was originally written February 5th, 2019. I didn't want to get there too early. Pearl handle on the ceiling, crawling on the babies. There weren't enough little birdies singing this morning to keep me from flying. Though the trees eating off of me at the feet, the light feeding into me as I breathe, intimately closer than kin, than friend, lover, enemy. Still, I didn't want to get there too early. The breakfast table burning, shot off as firework into the sky. We all scattered. Nobody was hungry. No crumbs for black, white, nor multicolored kaleidoscope wings, doped in the spring fling of Phoenix and monarchy. I've had my cravings lately, debating between horses and ships. All right. Yeah, so my vision is not so good. These glasses are not so great. I need new glasses. Anyway. But we're going to get through this anyway. This piece is from April 29th of 2020. It's entitled Soft War of Washed Polka Dots. Luck, the ladybug, polka dot soaked in honeysuckle, buttercup sud tub. Tracked by pollen into forest fire, knocked wood chopped into bless your soul. The marsh, the wolves even gentle with your sun and moon phase mimicking wings. Hooves of wild boars even pour holy dust into your path. You crash into the science and math that magically tumbles out of deep, dark, chocolate-adorned skies as twilight waters softly ripple in ethereal snore. Luck, the ladybug, will you teach us the art of the kindest, most gentle of wars? All right. I actually don't think I have a whole lot of poetry tonight, and I don't have my harmonicas readily available either, so maybe we'll do that next time. Yeah, I don't think this one has a title. It was the one I've started writing, I think, in early November, and then decided to go a different direction with it. There's a few things I scratched out and kind of redid the ending tonight. But anyway, here we go. Songbird message clawed into my shoulder, claiming that one can know oneself without realizing oneself. Let's start reading it again, because let's start that from the top. Songbird message clawed into my shoulder, claiming that one can know oneself without realizing oneself. Opera leaking profusely from the ogre, hymns and symphonies to momentarily cure the beast, utilizing only or mostly weapons of hope and peace, so it seems. No cloudy drink for damaged dream this eve. Night owl message us the dawn. Usher in structure that only crumbles into the sun coddled crop. All right. Let's see here. Get that over there. So this last piece I started writing last night, and it's entitled Kerosene Soaked Collard Greens, but it's a specific message, I guess, to the hip hop children, more or less, to the young hip hop kids in a way. And you know, hip hop, as we all know, it's synonymous with the language of the street, so to speak, or of the underdog, outcast. So this is Kerosene Soaked Collard Greens. I'm tired of seeing all of y'all dying. I'm tired of seeing all of us dying. Private beach on an island, mostly silent. To all other crowds until defiant violence pries open the mainstream, crying under new and old babies. The hydrants are filled with waters that are favorite flavor Kool-Aid in color. Favorite Kool-Aid colored, going to cool fool's grave, brave directly from the gutter. Mustard, turnip, and collard greens soaked in kerosene. Heat coming in red and green dotted from all angles out of all pockets. And I'm tired of seeing y'all dying at that. And at that, in the middle of opposite season of autumn. And more so still to your own hands, own hands, own hands. Many are still praying, draining the swastika out of their own brown, black, and yellow minds and trying to flip it back. Crying grandmas, grandchildren, mothers, daddies, and children, looking for the proper pauper's prayer and lament, not realizing it doesn't exist for your regal spirit require the spiritual golden survival song of princess and prince, king, queen without evidence showing outwardly of your falling. Difficult to show wounds that you eat as they are scabbing and suck it up, clashing with own drink fermenting in rusty chest cavity. And when you are sentenced to death by your peers, authorities, or society, please let it be broadcast how traumatized you have been in bent fears with low appraisal and little to no expectation. We're tired of hurting. And I think that's all I got tonight. I wish I had more because I know you got extra space tonight, but I think that's it.
Kevin Evans, y'all.
Hey.
Thank you, Kevin. Beautiful,
Thank you,
man. I love it, man. Yes, I love your rhythms. You know, I mean that's one of the things with modern poetry is a lot of it has been so bound to the page, you know, forgetting that it lives in the air, and you know, some of it hasn't though, and I think you're one of those poets who pays a particular attention to rhythm, you know, understanding that poetic language is music, you know, there's one and the same, you know, you're just making music
thank
with
you.
words. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well,
yeah, I've always admired that about you.
Well, I have to talk to the folks. I have to talk to the people, like, so even if they don't understand every word, they can still feel it. So in that sense, as abstract as I can be, there's a certain like common simplicity to it that I think is somehow accessible even within like some like mixed murky waters, murky colors.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I think, you know, a lot of the meaning resides in the reader, and a lot of people get too caught up on meaning when it comes to poetry, you know. But it's meant, you know, and it's often written to mean different things.
Yeah.
Or the meaning is not explicitly stated in the words. Maybe it's through the music, for example. And
sure.
I think once you get past that, you can really enjoy a lot more of poetry. I mean, I always like to say a lot of people don't understand the lyrics to their favorite songs, but they still sing them, you know, they still enjoy them.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah, it's like even the last poem I did, the title kerosene soaked collard greens, that was intended to be some kind of metaphorical thing, but I don't think I quite understood what that title meant. I just knew that had to be the title even before like I finished it or even barely started it.
Yeah, sometimes it's more of an intuitive art form. And
yeah, so
and
I
even
was
that title has this great rhythm to it, you know? Even in the title, right?
Thanks. Well, I'm talking to the hip hop kids specifically, especially the hood,
so
especially young black, brown kids and stuff, you know, in the hood, because the value of life, even to themselves and to each other. There's a lot of killing with kids, especially in inner cities that are under the age of 21, even that are teenagers,
Yeah.
like 14,
Yeah.
15, 13, crazy stuff. So I just I had to speak to them at least in certain ways. So the collard greens kind of represent like a nutrient and feeding, and like even the music or the art
Ah.
form is like an expression like to kind of exercise demons, but at the same time it's soaked in kerosene as opposed to like vinegar or something.
Right.
So
Right.
but
Little
it's a
extra
crazy
kick.
concept. If you talk to these
Yeah.
kids and you're like, hey, you want to eat these collards? They're soaked in kerosene. They're gonna be like, F you. What the hell are you talking about? But yet they will engage in certain antisocial behavior and certain self-destructive behavior and malicious behavior to other people, where you could tell there's lack of respect or value for life or for self, but they're not going to eat these poison greens knowing they're
Right.
poison. So it's kind of ironic. So that's kind of why I gave it that title.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, that's
that
great. Yeah. I
when it comes
I
to what
hadn't
we
thought
feed
about that.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's important. Yeah. There's nutrients.
And I also
But
wanted to recognize that these individuals and these children particularly are victimized. They are victims and they are traumatized. Regardless
mm-hmm.
of how dangerous they may be or may become.
That's a good point to make. And a lot of times it become dangerous through that trauma, through not treating that trauma and having to live that trauma every day.
Right.
So that makes sense. And the killing, it really is an epidemic. So I'm glad that you're speaking to that, Kevin.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And people have been speaking to it for a long time, but there's just
Sure.
certain wars that are hard to stop or get in the middle of, I guess.
When sometimes we need to keep saying these things,
hmm
so people hear, so people listen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Thank you for sharing that with us, Kevin. It's always great to have you here. It's always a pleasure. And
Yes, thank you, man.
Yeah, man. I hope you can make it back next time. We'll be
Yeah,
here.
are you doing one next Wednesday or what's the deal?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do one next Wednesday. I'm not sure. We may not do a feature, but I think we will have open mic here next
Cool.
Wednesday. So whoever's around, wherever you are, you can join in from wherever you are. And I know a lot of people are just staying home. So stay home and have some fun with us here on the
Yeah.
mic.
If you're doing it, I'll be here. It sounds
Awesome.
good.
All right. Well, we'll do it then.
All right.
If you'll be here. Cool.
No doubt.
Well, thanks a lot, Kevin. I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for being here tonight. And,
yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Everyone give it up again for Kevin. Kevin Evans, y'all. Thanks, Kevin. Yes, indeed, that was Kevin Evans, and you're tuned in to the one and only Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from North Carolina, USA. Thanks for joining us, and many thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. Stop by if you're in the Asheville area. They've got a to-go window open. I'm even down there most days, Friday and Saturday, and stop by and get some Kava to go. We also do delivery through Kickback Asheville, kickbackavl.com. And if you're performing tonight and you're in the Asheville area, stop by the Kava Bar. You got a free double shot of Kava waiting on you down there. We really appreciate y'all, and much love to our Kava people. Cool. We're gonna move it along here because we still got a few more performers to get to. And again, if anyone wants to perform tonight, just follow that StreamYard link there. We got it posted in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. And enter the broadcast studio so we know you're ready to go. We'll get you on here. We only got a few more left on here, so y'all join in. Do something. We welcome all art forms here on the Poetry Open Mic. So all people, all art forms, we invite you to join in and share. All right, we're gonna keep it moving here, but we do have a few more comments here for Kevin. We'll make sure we get to those. We do appreciate your comments, so keep those comments flowing in. It's good to hear from y'all out there, right? What's up, Sheev? Shout out to Tom Sheev, the amazing Asheville comedian and writer. It's always good to see Tom Sheev. What's up? Cool. That's a good point. Interesting. Yeah, you mentioned Bernie Taupin. Yeah. R.I.P. Wonderful. I love some Elton John. I played in a show once at the Flat Rock Playhouse of Elton John music with the marvelous Matthew Friedman from New York City, the piano man. Great stuff. Great music to get into. Yes, indeed. That was great, Kevin. All right. We got Christopher T. George up next in the house. He's joining us from Delaware via Liverpool. It's always great to hear from Christopher. I love these, since we've gone into the virtual realm, we have this ability to bring in people from all over now. And it's so great to have these performers join in. So, without further ado, let's get Christopher T. George on. Everybody, jump up and down wherever you are. We're going to have to make a whole bunch of noise. He's coming in all the way from Delaware tonight. Y'all make some noise. Give it up. Christopher T. George, y'all.
Hello, Caleb.
Christopher, how you doing tonight?
All right, good.
Good.
I drove down to Maryland today to give a talk on the War of 1812 and the Scotsmen that were in the War of 1812. And
Okay.
it was at the Community College of Baltimore County.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I visited about every bathroom in every convenience store and every McDonald's all the way down because I'd taken a water pill. I'd taken a water pill before I'd left home, and so. And of course, I was nervous about giving the talk as well. So,
Well, I hope it went well, despite the many stops.
But you mentioned the place name a couple of minutes ago, Flat Rock.
Flat Rock, North Carolina.
Yeah, I went to the Carl Sandburg homestead.
The Carl Sandburg home there. Yes, indeed. Yeah. With the goats and everything.
Right, and I'm going to lead off with a poem referencing Carl Sandburg.
Fantastic. We love Carl Sandburg here. And our Chicago friends love Sandburg as well.
Yeah,
so.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, I'll turn it over to you then, Christopher. But thank you for being here. And,
okay, great.
Everyone give it up. Absolutely. Thank you. Everyone give it up for Christopher T. George.
This is a poem by a Maryland poet, J. David Andrews. It's called My Feud with Frost, as spoken by Carl Sandburg. Fiery mountain men, like Robert Frost and me, can be cantankerous and full of feuding, like Hatfields and McCoys. Although I climbed these singing Carolina mountains from the shores of Michigan and the plains of Illinois, and Bob Frost ascended the mountains of New England from the horse car hills of San Francisco. But now, like a mountain mule that knows only its own mind, my friend Frost gets ornery and stubborn. Then, like a white-haired mountain god, Astride the valleys of New Hampshire and Vermont, he hurls verbal thunderbolts against imaginary enemies. And so he's picked a feud with me, claiming that my verse is not poetry at all, but only cherished prose. That free verse is like playing tennis with the net down. Maybe so, Bob, but keep in mind, in this fleeting world of sunlight and shadow, of fog and frost, of frustration and faith, we writers must play the game of life without a net, must catch the leaping fish without a net, must capture the butterfly in flight without a net, must walk the high wire from mountaintop to mountaintop without a net, and then, without a net, reach up for the stars. This next one is a poem by Robert Lowell, and it also references another poet contemporary of Lowell's, Delmore Schwartz. In dreams begin responsibilities. My heater aches my head. It's cold outside. It's bright outside. The sun tears stars in my shade. The problem is to keep the dream a movie. 100 breasts are bursting the same black sweater, like and unlike as the stars or the snowflakes. Your dream had humor, then its genius thickened. You grew thick and helpless. Your lines were variants, unlike and alike. Delmore, your name, Schwartz. One vowel bedeviled by 7 consonants. One gabardine suit, the color of sulfur. Scanning wide-eyed the windowless room of wisdom. Your notes on Joyce and porno magazines. The stoplights blinking code for you alone, casing the bars with the eye of a Mongol horseman. The reason that I was in North Carolina when I came down and went to Flat Rock and also went out to ASHEViLLE to stay at the Grove Park Inn and incidentally visit the site of Highland Hospital where Zelda Fitzgerald died in the fire, was that I was at a medical conference at Chapel Hill. And I worked for a number of years for Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, which for whom I was working for when I went to the conference at Chapel Hill. And I'd often walk in the underneath the hospital through the underground corridors, and this poem came out of that. It's kind of unfinished, one that I need to work on some more. As you can see, it's got a lot of crossings out and insertions and so on. This is called Prehistoric. I'm walking through the bowels of the hospital where patients are eaten, or so it might seem, as rank, ripe odors drift from the kitchen, and white swaddling clothes bulge trash bags in turquoise cages. A nurse wheels a patient hooked to an IV, head shaved like an egg, and plastic gloves lie pressed to the cement floor like fossil animals. There's an online anthology that poets that are maybe some tuned in tonight might want to submit to. It's called Poetry in the Play Gear, and it's published by Poetry Kit in the Merseyside area. My friend Jim Bennett is a accomplished poet who runs Poetry Kit, and if you Google Poetry in the Play Gear, you can find out how to submit to it. amongst the poems that were published is one that I wrote in August. It's called Revisiting Hillbury in My Mind. Hillbury is an island that you can walk out to in the River Dee, which is a few miles from Liverpool. You have to cross over the Wirral Peninsula to get to it. I haven't been there for a large number of years, but it appears in a number of my poems. And I had a task when I was in a workshop to come up with a poem, and was trying to think of what to write about. And of course, I thought about Hillbury again. Revisiting Hillbury in my mind, a lump of sandstone in my hand. The tide goes in and the tide goes out. And when the tide goes out, the people walk out. Naked footprints in wet sand to find the tidewater island and not be cut off when the tide comes in. Sandstone cliffs, dinosaur footprints, and my childhood footprints, walking with my grandparents, a place to go, sanctuary in a crazy world. When I was age 27, I had the audacity to write a book-long autographical poem, and it's called Tuxtus. The design that you see here, there are these stones that go back to the Neolithic age, called the Calder stones, which were in a tumulus not too far from where John Lennon lived. And when I wrote this in 1975, I knew about the Calder stones, the bedrock of Liverpool and the Merseyside area is red sandstone that you call brownstone. And so naturally, I had to write about going to Hillbury in this book, and I included a picture of my grandparents walking with me out to Hillbury, and you can see Hillbury in the distance beyond my granddad and nana going to Hillbury. And sometimes my grandparents took me to Hillbury, an island in the Dee across the Wirral Peninsula. The train from Liverpool, a long green caterpillar, coasting into the quiet of West Kirby Station and meeting the red buffers with a jolt. The doors fling open and the trippers stream out. Wicker baskets, thermos flasks, wads of sandwiches, oranges, fruitcake borne down to the sands. The long trek to Hillbury at low tide, ridges of sand hard below bare feet, squelchy black mud to get through, the chill of clear, cold streams as you splash in them and watch small shrimps and crabs scutter away from you. We eat sandwiches on the treeless expanse of Hillbury. Sea pinks wave on the peaty turf in coarse grass. Seals bask in the estuary. Sandpipers call. The cliffs of red sandstone plunge below us. That sandstone so vulnerable to the gentle tide, which causes Hillbury to dwindle more each year. And in later years, I wrote a poem about Hillbury in pale imitation of Dylan Thomas's Fern Hill. Hillbury Island, time was on your side, laughing quietly as the tide lapped your sands, warm and clear. Hillbury Island, rising since the dawn of time, cliffs of red sandstone, warm in the endless summer. And now my mom and dad tell me that we are going to begin a new life in the United States of America, somewhere 3,000 miles across the ocean, for which you have to have your photograph taken and a man smears black stuff on your fingers because he needs to have your fingerprints. It is dark January. The ship leaves the landing stage on the brown waters of the Mersey, now black with night, and the Cunard liner sails out into Liverpool Bay. The lights of the city are now dots on the horizon, green and white and orange, reflecting on the water. They disappear in black, and everything is left behind. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you, Christopher. Wonderful stuff. Wow. Just really knockout stuff, man.
Thank you.
Really good stuff. Yeah, I love the Carl Sandburg memento and and that last one too. Wow. And I love that interesting bit about the stones there. That's really fascinating. I know that symbol. Great. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Well, I hope you had a good time here in Asheville.
Yeah, I would really like to get back and maybe attend one of your open readings in person, man.
Exactly.
That would be amazing. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Well, hopefully one day before too long, things will get better and we'll be in person again. We can all travel and hang out and share in the poetry.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But in the meantime, it's always great to have you here in the virtual open mic, Christopher. And I do hope you can make it back next time. And
I hope we do have one next week. I'll be there.
Yeah. We'll do it. Awesome. Sounds good. I'll see you then.
All right,
Thank you, Christopher.
All right. Bye.
Cheers. Give it up again for Christopher T. George. Coming at us all the way from Delaware tonight. Yes, indeed. You're tuned in to the one and only Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Thanks for riding with us. Yes, indeed. And thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. And thanks to our featured poet tonight, Joe Shelton.
When you're out on the streets,
the one and only.
out in the night,
Good old Joe Shelton.
just cigarettes on the viper that bite. Got to score on the sly and say no, officer. I don't know the substance to which you refer. Just cigarettes.
I think we had some comments here for Christopher.
Just cigarettes. Forget your regrets. Just cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, y'all submit to that project Christopher mentioned. Check it out. Google Poetry in the Plague. I'm going to do that. I might have one or two to send in. But anyway, poets, submit your work.
You won't catch me from madness. A puff now and then, it's gonna help you to cope by. You smoke
Thanks,
it
Chief.
so much you're gonna act like a dope.
Very
Just
good.
cigarettes.
Thank you. Shout out to Guy. Shout out to I Am AVL doing it here in AVL with the live streams. Check them out.
Forget your regrets.
And of course, we're here
Just
every
cigarettes.
Wednesday for more Poetry Open Mic Asheville. I wonder if I'll ever get used to that. Anyway, like a mirror. We're rocking and rolling. We got a special performance up next from Alan Robinson, the one and only Asheville's own Alan Robinson. So y'all keep it locked here, stick around, don't go away. We got that coming at you. We also have Tommy and Emilio and Justin signed up. I think if there's anyone else signed up. Follow that StreamYard link, enter the broadcast studio so we can get you set up and ready to go here. You're coming up next. So yeah, Tommy, Emilio, if y'all are out there, Justin, any of y'all. And also, we have some extra space available tonight. We're still doing good on time, so if anyone else wants to join in and share, we welcome all people in all forms of artistic self-expression. Just follow that StreamYard link, and we'll get you on screen here with us, just like that. Check it out. Anyway, it's so great to have Joe in the house tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, shout out to our technical director too, by the way, Morgan Beissert, my brother. Very good. Thank you, Christopher. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, it's good. It's such a good community here. I love doing open mic with y'all, you know, even if it's virtual. It's very nice. So thanks for coming through and thanks for joining us. We'll be here. All right, yes, we got a special performance up next from Alan Robinson, a wonderful inspirational poet here in Asheville. Such a great reader. And we're going to pipe him in tonight. And let's see if we can do this. We're going to try this out. We'll see if we can beam in Alan Robinson, but it's always good. Alan's been a regular at the open mic here over the years. He's been coming and just mystifying the place with his beautiful poetic language, and he often performs with musicians, and he has a beautiful voice and a beautiful poetic soul. So here we are, folks. Alan Robinson for you. Y'all are gonna have to make some noise out there. So give it up for Alan Robinson. All right.
The illumination of a lost dream is painted on. The illumination of a lost dream
Alan.
is painted on an inverted horizon of forgotten memories. Memories that reach to the stars and the eclipse of a soul encounter. Memories of misty waves on the sea, returning to the center, always returning with an ebb and flow of time. Illuminations of reflections, afraid we are fearful of scattered shadows. Imaginations, chiaroscuro shadows on the mind of the tilted scholar. Illuminations of an illusion, and shooting stars in the universe, lighting up the sky with signs and shadows, signaling Spanish moments. Sangria sky illuminates against the Sandia Mountains. Landing in Albuquerque, the illumination of light filters through a spectrum of channels that reaches deep in the heart of man. The memories, the dreams, another self, the memories of a past life, haunting skeletons. Illumination ties the world together as we hold hands and illuminate the present moment. A great electricity of spirit awakens a new adventure in our mind as we reach to the outer limits of ourself and extend our soul to new happenings. This is the first day of new dreams, new experiences. We awaken to rain pouring on narrow streets. Memory is only an illusion of forgotten dreams. We can suspend time on the tightrope of an atom sinking in the Titanic of evolution. This is the illumination. This is the memory. These are the dreams that will lead us to the present time. The spirit of Guadalupe is shining with a smile to the effervescent soul that opens its heart to new beginnings. Dionysus, the god of love, remembers the spirit. The earth reunites. We hold hands with every living being and understand humanity in its most imperfection. The glancing shadows pierce the light of our awareness. We will awaken to the new illumination, the new dream. This is the greatest moment. This is the new illumination of time. We are one. We are centered. We begin to understand humanity.
Incredible. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it, Alan. That's Alan Robinson, y'all. Thank you so much, Alan Robinson. Thank you, Alan. Really appreciate you. Y'all give it up one more time for Alan Robinson. Yes, indeed. So nice to have Alan Robinson on the show tonight virtually. That's the virtual Alan Robinson. So good to have the virtual version of Alan Robinson in the house, on the mic, in your house, wherever you are tonight. On Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks to our feature poet, Joe Shelton, for coming through tonight. It's been a fabulous night already. Do we have Tommy? Tommy Gaffney, where you at? Do we have Emilio out there? Where you at?
Wrapped in white linen and cold as clay. I see by your outfit
working on
that
joining.
you are
Okay,
a cowboy.
Tommy's working on joining.
These words he
Just
did
follow that
say
StreamYard
as I
link, type your name in,
boldly
enter the
walked
broadcast
by.
studio, works in the
Come
browser.
sit down beside
Beautiful
me
music
and
by
hear
Joe
my
Shelton.
sad story. Got shot in the breast and I knew I must
comments.
die. Bring 16 tall cowboys to carry my
okay.
coffin, and 10 pretty women to sing me a song. Take me to the valley, there lay the sod o'er, for I'm a young cowboy and know I've done wrong. Oh, once in the saddle I used to go dashing, and all that did glitter did never essay. First to the card house and then down to Rosie's. I'm shot in the breast and I'm dying today. Go fetch me some water.
Anyway, it's good to have you tuned in here. Thanks for tuning in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. It's always a pleasure here. We're going to get Tommy connected. I'll do a quick poem while we're waiting on Tommy. All right. Oh, let's see what we got.
Take me to the valley, there lay the sod o'er. For I'm a young cowboy and know I've done wrong.
This poem is called Featherstone String. The universe does not exist. Who am I? 1988. Somebody loves so-and-so. LMK. Ancestors cut lyrics. Traced out music to fill a need. Engineered monuments to the sun aligned with their heavens, sacred feathers, stones, lacquered chewing gum. A possum scurries across the street, briefly illuminated in mercury vapor light. Pale clouds roam the dark purple, revealing stars as they pass. An empty hammock sways at the edge of a field that sways too. Rains for a minute and stops. In the green studio, everyone making art, even the girl just talking and telling about it. Drummer looks sideways at the finger painter and the guy playing guitar with no strings. I got lost in the grocery store. I was a child. Sometimes I still do. Feeling of little strings tied beyond what we know, stage draped in prism, music rocks in torrents, not the dust that bore us, not the infinite that makes up the beach. We were there once as strangers, in moments of beauty, instinct, stop. Simply play that gorgeous piano and listen for hours, enthralled in its conversation, forgetting I-beams and plywood, and then reason, telling us not to think. The wise person coughs, not knowing anything at all. Days come more confusing, amber tree rings unlaced, flowering the floor. Call me in the morning and tell me I still love you. Too easy to slip. Try to make it through the snow. I always hear people having a good time outside my window, making lost time down around the oak where mycelium under lavender grows. Aquarium, slow and all-night diners on diamond-covered highways with nobody on them, and in tiny cafes where books, red ribbons enter the head, our tactile grasp cutting loose strings of balloons, no coming back like death, the child learns. Oh, that's like straight vinegar. God, what was that? Music of a Forgotten Night. These are all poems from my book, Clock, Blue Chair, Pink Medicine. I'm seeking a publisher. If you know anyone. This one's called The Condom. And this has an epigraph from William Carlos Williams. No ideas but in things. There it was, floating in the toilet when I went to piss. Air had caught in the tip, so when I flushed, the latex swelled, spun round, but would not go down. Lewd little lung filled with sperm. I flushed again, and in a bubbly whir, it disappeared to an unseen crypt beneath the city where all our fluids mix in some great orgy. I try to forget. In some great orgy. I try to forget. And we'll just keep going here. Very good. I had to memorize that in like 10th grade English. I loved that English teacher, but what was her name? Old lady. Wonderful lady. Saturday night at Guadalupe Cafe for Brett, who played guitar. With my eyes closed, I feel everyone dancing, hot room heaving and twisting. Music plays itself, beats falling into place, extension pure of us. A scene we live. We create boxes in air, move bodies with notes, in communion for hours, hugged by the same waves. thank you. Appreciate that. I do translate some Lorca. This is one that's inspired by all that, actually. This is called Tu la Niña de los Pienes. And she was a great, great flamenca singer. All right. To la Niña de los Peines. A voice rings out in Granadian streets. The voice, a pair of severed wings. The voice, like the azan from a minaret. Blue voice of a million hillsides. Green voice, naked in the morning rain. Moon voice glides above the arachnid guitars. Voice of light twisting into darkness. Her voice, a romance of water. Voice that goes across the sky. Thank you. Those were original poems. I think we got some performers working now. We're working it out here tonight. But thanks for joining us. We do got Emilio in here. We got Emilio connected. So we're gonna put Emilio on next. And then after that we got Tommy Gaffney. If you're out there, if anyone needs help logging in or anything, just holler at us. Shout out to Morgan, the technical director. He's helping get everyone working tonight. But really, it's pretty easy, and we do have a couple extra spaces left tonight. If anyone else out there wants one, we got that StreamYard link posted on our Facebook and YouTube in the comments there. Just follow that link, copy and paste that link, and join the broadcast studio on StreamYard there, and we'll get you on here as soon as possible. But anyway, appreciate everyone still tuned in out there. We see you out there. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. Keep those comments flowing in. We love the comments. Thank you for the comments. And up next on the mic, we're going to beam in Emilio here, all the way from Chicago. Let's get him on. Y'all know what you gotta do though. Make some fucking noise. Give it up. Jump up and down. Scream. Shout. It's Emilio Maldonado. Give it up, y'all. My man.
What up, boy?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good, man.
Look at you.
What you up to tonight?
I like that sweater.
Thank you, man. I've been rocking this, man. I found this. I don't even know where it came from, but
I think it came.
I'm gonna rock it.
I think it came from the 70s.
Well, that's for sure. For sure, man.
Oh man, there was like a kid show recently, actually. That was. Oh man. You might know this for sure. People who are regulars of the show would know it. It was a kid show with like these weird, people in like the big suits, like different colors and stuff. But the human was this guy, and Lance was in his name, like something Lance something Rock, and he was like dressed in this like bright orange, like safety orange, like almost like drum major outfit, kind of weird sort of thing. And he always had this like big like drinking lodge from the 50s sort of hat, but it was also orange. And he had these like big like Run DMC glasses and like really lanky. Oh man. And
who was it? Somebody leave it in the comments.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
It's like I used to watch it because I worked with kids for a long time, so I was always kind of aware of what, and I worked with like young kids, so I was always kind of aware of like what young kids were doing. But then I had 3 nephews, and with them, like I got like I watch shows that a guy my age should not have watched unless he also maybe had kids. But I think if you're a dad or a mom, you really try to get as far away as you can from children's TV. Whereas like I would sit and watch it with them because I'm the uncle, so I only got to see it, real fraction or hear it real fraction of the time. So like I got into Arthur, like Arthur's my shit,
Arthur, man.
you know. But
Reading some
like
Arthur books.
like SpongeBob, like I would have missed the book,
SpongeBob.
but I was in on SpongeBob from day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Me and my nephews used to scream the theme song. Like I made, because it's like, come on, like that's a song you gotta not just yell loudly, but you gotta
Right.
yell
Top of your lungs.
top of your lungs, not just like SpongeBob. I was like, no, SpongeBob, And like when you're a kid given permission by an adult, like, no man, be louder. You're not loud enough.
Yeah, I know.
That's the
Their
sound of
parents are
joy.
like, stop doing that.
Well, they wouldn't be home when I would like.
Oh, right, of course, yeah.
But my parents and my grandma live upstairs, and my grandma would sometimes call like, "What's all that racket? Is everything okay? What's going on?"
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. My sister actually was home one time, and I told her that we like to do the sing along, but I think she wasn't quite prepared for how loud we would do it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Man, I used to love some Ren and Stimpy too,
Oh, see,
that was a crazy one because then I got older and I was like, man, this show's fucked up, dude.
See, that's just
well, I guess that's a lot of shows, but
I was the wrong
that
age.
one.
I didn't get it at first. I almost had to have somebody explain why it was cool.
Oh shit! Fuck, my camera died. Read some poems, man.
Patrick. All right.
Y'all give it up for Emilio Maldonado.
There I go. There I go.
Save the night. Thank you, Emilio.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Sacred rivers, places, and names. A mountain speaks, asks for its tribute, gets lost in delusion. Fearsome, terrible, and old, it is lost to us. Prayer wheels and sacrifice children. Robes, briefcases, and tomes keep the blood flowing. Spit in the unknowable has figured out. Looking at the mountain as vistas slopes, y los de abajo, para sentirse más arriba. It's easy to say, I say in the hut amongst the tribe. We speak Ulu and Botema when our shoulders are young and knees still bend. Nightly ofrendas get illuminated by GE and sacrifices made to blue lights. Ya no se prenden velas in this land beneath the mountain. Sacred rivers got creeked and hydroelectrified, reclaimed for strawberry field smoothies. No one takes a knee. We sit on our asses. De rodillas, siempre suplicados a la chamba, peregrinos al H&M. Dejamos las pistolas a favor de un 4x4. Usamos las armas contra los príncipes y princesas en lugar de decir las gracias. Fairness. I was on the rain-slick street and eventually walked away. She didn't. And her tribe, scarred, been drinking and fucking and dancing. Balkan gypsy hillbillies scream into the dying light, defying it, using magic and accordions and tubas. Make the days and nights blend and last. My heart breaks to their songs. I fight men bigger than me. I take women bigger than me. I drank whiskey to words I don't understand. Y lloro a estas canciones de ladrones y amor. Puta madre. Sabe, pero no es gitano. No es conocido. Los hijos de chingada Roma. I hear gunfire and slam doors before I fall asleep. I smell my cum, memories of wet dreams and unbathed second shifts, and after hours bourbon. Dried urine on saturated boxers and legs, my legs. I'm almost able to rest. My clown car of humiliation and capitulation. Like doo-wop oldies playing songs of love and bravado. All the older ways are forgotten or dabbled in and ruined by white folks and monetizers. I got so much trouble on my mind, refuse to lose. All I want is a Pepsi. You're the one who's crazy. Institution. And I come away with a different point of view. I can't see a forest. I can't see trees. Don't correct me. I know what I see is getting waves of cold water coming back in. More living deaths up in the north. Dormancy and cycles. Gray skies. Can't rest. Rotten teeth stink. Don't kiss deeply. Broken dick. Don't fuck even with whiskey. Who can afford dignity? It's these classic movies of heroism and cleanliness. Here there's filth and heat. My thesis will never get defended. I parked my car on a sidewalk. I limp now. How much more of this? How much more of this? How much for all of this? Yard sale, cast off soul. Can I get a Band-Aid? Can I get a mojito? Otro baile más? Dreams are taunt sometimes, my dear. Least I can't touch dawn. Least I can't fuck up a sunrise so far. Flailing. I'm stared at. I'm stared at by every angry brown-skinned man. I've been cursed with that zombie third eye. Running with the ghosts of the sexiest lips I ever kissed. The Platonian ideal of soft. Flailing. I'm falling down the fourth rabbit hole this week. Been using the drink me glass with amazing familiarity. I'm a warehouse of fading memories. The old booze sticks a little less. There used to be hotness as wore out. Lake Erie skin tough. Leather smiles make me go limp now. It's a new night and it's tripping balls and Pilsen with the crazy Bosnian gypsy. A cockroach crawled out of the crack on the hipster bar. She left to piss and get rolling. The magic behind inside them hips, that half a smile, mostly from her eyes. Demon rum? They never met a gypsy, at least not this gypsy. Oh no! I waked up spent on a desert floor. 700-year-old bricks and 17-cent plaster surround the room I'm in. I look forward to remembering the drums, the awful seared-in smell of 30 dancing men and women, cunts, hairy armpits. Curtains of lust separated me from eager virtues. Let me say that line again. I fucked that up. The awful seared-in smell of 30 dancing men and women. Cunts, hairy armpits. Curtains of lust separated me from eager virtues. I don't know why I had to redo that. This always makes you think of you guys, and you specifically, Caleb. Fever dreams. Spoke to a mountain. Been about a year since someone talked dirty to me. Devastation is being asked, are you okay, for the first time all year? Maybe longer. Forgetting how it feels when somebody outside of a blood relative cares. Got my hair cut at Mr. Smooth's. Slim was handling book. Big Dre took care of the two white boys. Cleaned, lined up proper. Rock hopped the riverbed that morning. Mr. Smooth called me baby. Listen to Shit Shooting 101. Tried not to fall asleep. California love had me keeping my ears Serengeti style, wondering if he would smell the out of town on me. I trusted Mr. Smooth, so I closed my eyes and got a proper shave. Drifted a little bit. What I wanted. You with me in Asheville. You. Here. What I needed. To go by myself. Drink a lot. Miss you. I saw a shimmering ocean, the sunlight kissing and reflecting into my eyes. La venganza de Dios. Jeez, I see pretty girls with sweatpants and I think of you. Roosters. So it's 6:10 in the morning. Me in a cab in the largest city in the world. Walking out of the bus terminal, I heard a fucking rooster crowing. It keeps on feeling incredible being here. Palm trees in Aguascalientes line many roads. And most of the Mexico City that I travel in, it's old. But not like cool old. More like Rust Belt old. Spent and beat up. Never mind that shit. I woke up on the 49 bus. Desperation en los ojos de mi madre. Imágenes una eternidad que no puede borrar. She asked for the police station Sunday morning. America doesn't believe in this or the village. It has potbelly sandwiches and open on Sunday. Los ojos de mi madre, none y'all. I wish this on none y'all, even my enemy, porque madre worried enough. The hip child no sabe lo que pasa. Solo que tiene hambre, he said. Sus manitos agarran a su mamá. Le ofrecimos ayuda. She turned us down. Wouldn't trust another man. Not today. A mountain weeps alone. Look, if I keep going, or What you feeling? Yes. No. Might keep going. Sick beats. Aquí estamos otra vez. Love and life, little child dance, new days of rage. Pero aquí estamos bailando.
Yeah, that's cool.
Loving, planning a life, loving lives. Las sonrisas, los abrazos, los culos, brother. Echándole un baile, echándole tres si se puede. Gente haciéndose su picnic, yo solo, con puro bullshit, pero whatever, to each his own. To each his own, tis each we own. You don't own me. Are we in debt? Still gets cloudy on sunny days. Nothing to be afraid of. Storms come and go. Even that 40 days and 40 nights shit ended. 40 years lost in the desert seemed ridiculous to me until I looked in the fucking mirror. Dragonflies, hummingbirds. There's some beautiful Nahuatl word. There's even a better word in Spanish, but I can't think of it right now. Drinking sweet nectar, pulling up steaks when it's dried up. Fly south, I guess. Future 8-ball talk? Who knows? Right now, sandy rock and mountain roads are a distant memory future. Right now, it's Chicago beat up grass. Disco's being played. Discos de disco. Everybody grooving in the long shadows. Not quite night and the day. There's cars going by. Not as loud as los trailers in Mexico. But there's green in front of me. There's green all around me. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. A cultivar, a sembrar, joy. To live, right? It's fire season. But right here, a rolas in cups. No está mal. All right, this is the last one. I guess I cry now. It's the best I can do. It's not a weep. It's not sobbing. It's De Niro beating up a phone booth when Tommy gets whacked. A muted trumpet, muted soul. That's all there is. Pain and sadness has the ingredients. Doesn't seem to proof in the oven, I suppose. There's a crack in the crucible. I get teary-eyed like a motherfucker, though. Lets the viewing audience at home know I'm a compassionate guy or something. A little boy gives me a thumbs up, and it's the happiest I've felt in years. That's a lie. It's a terrible lie. But little boys' thumbs ups. Little boys who are creating victories, who follow the rules, who earn gold stars, who still have heroes from myth and mythologized heroes from life. They ought to get poems written about them too. Is that no? All right. All right.
All right. Emilio, thank you. Thank you so much. It is fire season for sure. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yes, man. Yeah, it's good to have you on tonight. Thanks for dropping by.
You bet. Sorry. Thanks for keeping it going. You know, not only tonight, but just all these weeks. I'm really glad to just have this opportunity to check in, say hi. You know.
Yep. Man, my pleasure, man. It's been doing it, and y'all keep me going. You know, you and everyone else who does this. You know, I wouldn't be doing it here solo. You know.
Yeah, right,
So,
right.
it's about everyone. So thank you for coming through and making it special each and every week. And it looks like we will be doing it next week. You know, so if you're around, you know, slide through. Next week, man, we'll be here keeping it real.
Yeah.
But as always, thanks for joining in tonight, Emilio. It's good to see you,
Thank
buddy.
you, brother. Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you next time, man.
All right.
Thank you, Emilio. Much love. Peace, homie.
And saying hi to Morgan too. Good night.
Yeah. Shout out to Tech Direct Morgan. Yes, indeed. And Emilio Maldonado joining us from Humboldt Park in Chicago. I'm coming up there as soon as we get done with this bullshit.
Woo,
man.
child.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Y'all give it up for E one more time. Yes, indeed. Love you, buddy. That's Emilio Maldonado, and you're tuned into Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you from North Carolina, Asheville, here in the U.S. Thank you. We are still alive. We are rocking and rolling. Thank you. We're blessed. And thank you to Sovereign Kava, our sponsor, for blessing us with their support. Very good. Yes. Indeed. We got some comments here from Emilio. Y'all stay weird and stay home. Joining you here from Asheville. Yes, indeed. Awesome comments for Emilio here. Tommy, where you at? You joining in? You gonna spit some poems tonight? Get on in here. Nope, not working. Damn. Alright, well, hopefully we can get Tommy connected for next time. It's always good to hear from Tommy, man. Yes, indeed. Thanks, buddy. Alright. I'm gonna close it out with some poems then. But thanks, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Appreciate the likes, comments, and shares. And appreciate y'all being you out there and keeping it real, you know. That's what we do. Alright. So, I do want to, acknowledge, passing of a great soul in the Kava community. Just the other day, Christine Fenton, passed away, and, I know she was a friend to a lot of us and a regular face there at the Kava bar, and our hearts go out to her family tonight, and just know that we're thinking about you, and we're all together, so take care of yourselves, take care of each other, reach out to the people you care about, and tell them you love them. We love you, Christine. I'm gonna do some poems. These go out to her. This is Wolf. And it's shaped like a certain guitar. Jerry's guitar is like 1,000 snakes. His smile winks as intricate spiders run the wolf's neck up and down and up in icicle beauty. Captain makes mistakes, perfect mistakes. They creep through ears, up spines, and into minds as heads dance. The fresh glass of a magnificent fire, conjured by musicians, machine-turning legs outstretched amongst shadows, still abides. Jerry paints reflections of matter in the night. Needle touch. The jazz drummer's arms must be golden censers the way he swings. Tap that little trap, fly past the crows, milk that honey. He solemnly goes into solo, head back, and just as you think he might lose it, back to the head. This one's called Yellow Paper. Bristles of night raise stars, the shimmer that creates us, yet gives us nothing at all. Nothing to write, other than snow that covers the midday in silence. As much as we hold on to others, we are really alone, between spaces and the atoms that make us. Lifetimes go by to find childlike truth. We are alone, except maybe we are the same. Though it wasn't as easy for us as it was for others, but we had it better than some. Nothing dies like tomorrow. When shadows come crawling across the twilight landscape, drawing breaths of fire between waves. Perhaps some solace, and that we can never finish, before the mind is gone and mushrooms and grasses grow us into new life, and the children we never had climb trees and make necklaces of clover where the land diminishes into sea, and the places we come to look strange and familiar, and the black rocks blaze under a tyrant sun, and people are awakening and calling out from their beds, and our earth shakes and moans under the weight. Great flocks of birds are escaping over our heads, landing in that country field where lost balloons end up, like hopes we forgot or gave up. And in the end, our ambitions were a pastime, and our memories fade like the yellow paper we write on. Yet what remains is the holding that fills the empty spaces. Light in an upstairs window. Reptilian plants crouch in the corners, climbing the curtain rods. Darkness sweeps over the house. 4 friends walk a mountain trail to a darkened tower, stacked firewood not far from the old cabin. Mystery grows deeper in the old growth forest, in the clusters of stars, in the study, in the house. The yard surrounds like a secret army poised in hush in the emptiness. Silent horses, the austere house. The faithful dog has seen something invisible and makes known he wishes to be let out of the house. Among the vanilla of books, the lamplit pages run with ink, producing distant lands beyond these walls. to a poem by Jane Hirschfield. Branch. A clock does not have hands, a face, tell anything, rightly or wrongly, least of all time. An empty branch does not long for its nondescript bird. The bird is not the quick dash that holds separate the world's yes from the world's no. Is there anywhere on earth one branch that has never been perched on? That is not what branches exist for. Yet the birds come. That is not what branches exist for. Yet the birds come. Yet the birds come. Yet the birds come. That's roomy of the barbs. Silkworms. The hurt you embrace becomes joy. Call it to your arms where it can change. A silkworm eating leaves makes a cocoon. Each of us weaves a chamber of leaves and sticks. Silkworms begin to truly exist as they disappear inside that room. Silkworms begin to truly exist as they disappear inside that room. Without legs, we fly. Without legs, we fly. When I stop speaking, this poem will close and open its silent wings. Alright. Thanks for tuning in tonight to Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you everyone who tuned in, everyone who performed. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. please keep rocking and rolling with us, and keep hanging with us here. Many thanks to Sovereign Kava, our sponsor. We really appreciate Sovereign Kava, and we also we appreciate our featured poet tonight, Joe Shelton. Of course, you can find him there and on Twitter. And, of course, shout out to our technical director, Morgan Beissert. My name's Caleb Beissert. It's always a pleasure to be your host. Please come back and keep joining us. And we'll be here each and every Wednesday night. We'll be here next week. And y'all take care out there. Be safe. Much love, everyone. Peace.
It's the fish that has Hawaii going gaga. If you see a huma huma nuka nuka in the reef, there's an apawa swimming up behind in disbelief. A huma huma nuka nuka apawa. How are you gonna name a fish along? A huma huma nuka nuka apawa. It's a plate for a Polynesian papa. At the restaurant you want it, but it's hard to put it in you, cause it takes so long to order and it fills up half the menu. Huma huma nuka nuka apawa. How are you gonna name a fish along? Huma huma nuka nuka apawa. Serve it hotter than a pot of lava. It's a yummy yummy that you're gonna wanna eat some more. Get your belly loamy loamy, or you're gonna wake up sore. Huma huma nuka nuka apawa. How are you gonna name a fish along? A huma huma nuka nuka apawa. It's a serpent, turper, skirper, feeling blah blah. A delicious little fishy with a piggy looking snout. If you really overeat it, then your foot will get the gout. A huma huma nuka nuka apawa. Oh, what would trigger you to name a fish so long? It makes it difficult to fit into a song. It's so long. A huma huma nuka nuka apawa.